Hello everyone, and welcome to the first pre-game show. I hope you can hear me, and I hope my volume is fine. But welcome to the first pre-game show of MUL Season 2. This is our second iteration of what we're doing with as off-season ultimate for Mumbai Ultimate. We had in early September, after two auctions, two postponements of the league, we finally had Season 1 in September, and now we have Season 2. The six teams that we have in Season 1 were the Icebreakers, the Afterburners, Bomb Squad, Grumpies, Bombay Buntais, and Cutting Chai. And thankfully, unfortunately, all six teams are returning, and all six owners are returning in the same capacity they did last season. Saying that, the the league was a bit, we had a bit of a tough time last year. COVID was still quite relevant. We had fewer players. We had about 80 players, and teams were kind of thin. I think maybe we can talk to Atir Bhai about that a bit later. But eventually, it was Bombay Buntais versus Icebreakers in the finals. Um, the Buntais had actually beaten the Icebreakers twice in the league phases and had worked really well as a team. But in the final, eventually, um, eventually they one one second. Sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, what I was trying to say is that last season, Icebreakers and Buntais played each other thrice, twice in the league stage, as everyone did against each other. And Buntais really came through as a team and won both the league stage games. But when it came, oh, sorry, they played four times because they played twice in the leagues, and then in the playoff game as well. Buntais beat Icebreakers to go directly into the finals. But after that, in the finals,
Hmm?
Icebreakers came in with some real energy and really worked on their athleticism and beat Buntais after going through cutting chai in the um, qualifier two, as they call it. So we have both these teams coming back for us. Icebreaker, we had another fresh auction where each team got to retain three players according to their wish. Each team obviously had a different strategy. We'll talk to the owners of Grumpies and Afterburners about why they chose to retain their players and what they are going to focus on in this league. But saying that, that was last season. Since we had MUL season one, we went a bit up north, but stayed in the west region and went to Surat, where we had a 2 day tournament called the Surat Showcase, with only four teams with the best of India's Western talent. And we that tournament was won by the Surat Trailblazers, and following that, in late March, a few months ago, we had the Bangalore Showcase after another postponement due to COVID, which seems to be a theme with off-season ultimate right now. But Bangalore Showcase, we had Bangalore Showcase in late March after having the auctions in early Jan. We had six teams there, and that was more
I'll
focused
use the
on
other
the
phone then.
talent
I'll use it.
the talent from the
Just want
south.
to see.
With one of our owners from one of our owners from Mumbai, Tuhin, was actually, he owned the team Uncharted and Icebreakers. Bhavya Bhai and Bhavya Bhai came as Icebreakers to Bangalore as well. So we kind of saw a cross influence of what off season has done through the tournaments. Then we had the Bangalore Showcase where the team from Chennai Rising Rajalis were the winners. Um, we are not certain how we're going to move forward with the showcase format, because right now our bread and butter and our baby is creating a league type format, and especially doing it in our home city of Mumbai. So saying that, welcome everyone to the second season of Mumbai Ultimate League. This time we have upped the numbers from about 75 players to about 140 players. So much so that owners are almost complaining to us that their roster sizes are too big. Something that we as organizers are excited about, because last year we really struggled in bringing in numbers. A lot of people moved out of town. A lot of people were just not available for the weekends. So we had to really rally to bring people from Pune, Surat, Ahmedabad. to play in our tournament. And this season, we saw that organically those people came back because MUL season one, thankfully, we were able to give them enough for them to come back this season. Saying that first, I would like to introduce the owners. I think Tuhin Bhai is still a bit stuck, so I'll wait on that a little bit. But first of all, there's Arthur from Afterburners. So hello, Arthur, how are you?
Hi, good buddy, thanks.
And then we have DB or Dhruv Nath from the Grumpies. Hello, DB Bhai, kaise ho?
Hey Rishabh, all good. Good to be here.
All right. Now that we've gone through all the formalities, first of all, I want to ask Arthur, did you actually want to come back this season after the season you guys had last year?
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean,
Let the trash talking
unfortunately, we had
begin.
a lot of players who did not come. I swear, right from the beginning itself. We actually did not have too many players coming in last season. We had a lot of issues travel-wise, or they were not here because COVID happened. A lot of people relocated to uh, different cities, went back home. So my strategy was to get during the auction to get all the guys who are in Mumbai. Unfortunately, most of them had moved away back to their home and they were working from home. So this season, I'm hoping, and with the number of players that have increased, I'm really looking for having a full squad for every game that we have. That being said, I'm not going to be there for 2 weekends.
um, I mean, we all have. I mean, you do have your. I think especially your job is one that we realize that is always. Sorry, I'll keep it a little higher. You're always kind of busy on the weekends, but um, I think I think it's kind of also you kind of wanted to put in your best foot forward. I think last year was a bit especially hard for your team because numbers, like you said, was a big issue. I was part of Bomb Squad, and
Yeah,
we had an issue with numbers as well. We didn't have our marquee players show up, so we kind of faced it. But I mean, I think Afterburners was the only team who had to field 6 players because you just had one female player one weekend, who was Arya. Um,
yeah.
so I think maybe this season was a lot about you guys actually you having an enough roster size so that you can own I for the lack of a better way of putting it, but to own an actual team, if that makes sense, in the sense that where everyone I think
I agree.
Afterburners last year had a lot of dedication, but I think the spirit was just a bit low because not having a roster size really took a lot out of you guys.
Yeah, we had people playing throughout the all the points because Savage basically because we
Hmm.
didn't have enough players and especially the girls we were always having either one, two, or three maximum. I remember the only one weekend that everyone came, we won our first game. That does show that yeah, if we have a roster, we can actually play and win as well. But that was the only game we won, and then we were done.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that, I mean, I think the one thing that we all learned through first season is you can't have enough players because it's 5 weeks and 5 Sundays, and just like you said, Atir, like you're yourself, you're probably not, you're busy for 2 weekends. So considering that everyone's going to have their own schedule, so it's really important to have a big roster size so that um, you can make up for anyone missing time, injuries, or just unavailability for various reasons.
True,
I just
no doubt
also
about that.
want to
Hopefully, this
iterate. I
season will
also want
be
to.
full. Sorry.
Mhm. No, I just also want to point out that last season, because of numbers, we had to go 5-2 with the ratio. But this season, we've kind of focused on 4-3, and the owners had a mandate that they had to have 7 female players and 13 male players by the time we went to the unsold round. That's a small type of criticism that we got from the first season of MUL, and we kind of want to rectify that. Of course, we didn't have numbers last season, so it was hard to do so. But that was one of our focuses, um, and especially would help a team like Afterburners. Like you said, you literally played with one female player for the whole weekend once, so that was really hard. But that's the serious stuff.
Yeah,
Now it's time to make some silly
they've mo-
predictions. Go ahead, Devrai. Sorry.
I was just going to say they've more than made up for it. They've taken all the Mumbai-based women players this year to make sure that at least the women are properly represented. It was a
I
bidding
thought
war.
I thought Afterburners team just kind of it kind of covered the geography of Athirbai's like travels over the last 15 years. It's just people from Pune, Chennai, and Bombay. It's people from Pune, people who speak Tamil, and people from Bombay. Was this a particular strategy? Like, did you guys think of doing that on purpose?
No, I mean, this time we were very serious, obviously, about the girls. We wanted girl players to be represented well in the team because it hit us last time, obviously, quite a bit. So that was one. Other than that, obviously, like I feel that people who speak a certain language have that chemistry, especially if they play together. So
Mhm.
that helps, and obviously the other people won't understand as well. So
That's true. Unless you're playing me, I might catch a little bit of Marathi and Tamil, but that's a very specific problem. But can
yeah.
you tell us a little bit about, like you said, you kind of focused on getting strong female players and also on people like regionality was kind of important to you. I wouldn't say it was like the way you went about your auction. I think that's how it kind of played out. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's true. But Ani was taking care. He was the proxy at the auction, and he did a great job. I'm sure the tournament will end up that way. And like the like I said, the main focus was a girl players. We were aiming for getting as many marquee players as we could. And like you said, it kind of worked in our favor when we did pick some people who, they've played there before, chemistry or speak the same language, and kind of works out that way as well.
I just want to say, Athir bhai, if you don't fully speak Marathi, I might try to take some of your players. In there. But you
Anyway,
you
Rishabh has
said
a
that you
history
have.
of taking out players in the MUL.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that.
Ooh,
Okay. Maybe if
thank
you'd pick
you.
me,
Somebody
maybe
speaking
you'd pick
against
me in your
Rishabh.
team.
Boom.
Maybe if you'd picked me in your team, you wouldn't have been so grumpy. but
Ooh.
um, but what I was trying to say is, let's just go to predictions. You said you had a good auction, so obviously you're going to finish top two, right? At least.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt about it. I'm a little impressed with the icebreaker squad they have, and I love the fact that a couple of things Max said, uh, which becomes a little more interesting because he told that he might not be available for a couple of weekends, but their training schedule so he might be available for 1 weekend more. So those kind of things will change the way the game turns out. Uh, but let's see. I'm sure it'll be a tough contest when we play the tournament.
Okay, can I talk purely as a cutting chai member and not a member of Off Season Ultimate?
Sure.
Yeah, the whole Mac thing is kind of BS, dude.
Wait, no. Is this the organizer speaking or cutting chai? I really want to
No,
know
no, this
because are
is
you
this
saying that
is
online
purely.
that is the cutting
Yeah,
chai?
I need to change my shirt. Uh, as I'm talking as number four handler for cutting chai on offense. What the heck? What the heck is this whole max strategy? And I'm livid at the owners who not even like. Why didn't one of you? Why didn't someone else just go for him? Why do we need like all
I
these
know.
guys on the same team? My God, Rizwan, Altaf, no man. I was talking to Sahu about our team, and he's like, नहीं नहीं भाई बच गए हमको नौमान मिल गया. And then we looked at the roster. I'm like, भाई नौमान तो है ही नहीं हमारे team में. It's like, अरे. I'm like, dude, that's not how this is gonna work. we, we need to we need to like figure out. So basically, you're saying icebreakers is probably number one and afterburners is two.
No, I'm saying afterburners is one and icebreakers will be two, but it'll be an interesting contest.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. The heat first and then the ice, is it?
Yeah.
Um, Another thing, I think another whole overhaul you guys have had, and this is from an perhaps an organizer perspective or just a fan of Mumbai Ultimate League. You guys had a big overhaul of your jersey design. How did you take the
Yeah, yeah.
backlash from last year? Did that go into the thinking of this year's design? Tell us more about that process.
I realized that CSK is not really performing well in IPL, so might as well get rid of them from here as well. No, yeah. So I think last time when we designed the jersey, I was favoring towards a little like a plainer design of yellow and stuff. Our designer Ria Anthony, big shout out to her. She killed the design this time as well, and she made it 1,000 times better. We just had I didn't really have to give her too many inputs. It was totally her idea of how she went about updating the jersey. And I think I told her one evening at about I think 3 or 4 in the evening, and by 7 she sent me the design within 3 hours. And she was doing other things. It was not like she was focusing those 3 hours on this design. So she did an amazing job on it, and I
Yeah,
didn't really
she
have to give her
did.
too many inputs. She said, I have some ideas, and killer.
Yeah, honestly, I I like the jersey because it gave me a very big like it's a like a football feeling. Like all football jerseys are kind of like that. They're kind of plain. You just have like the logo, the apparel sponsor, and something in the front. So I think that's what it kind of reminded me. So I didn't dislike it, but I know I was I was not in I was not the popular opinion on that matter. But I think coming around
Agreed.
this season, I think afterburners, especially with how the flight looks. I wish I had one in front of me right now, but the way the flight looks and the way it's like, yeah, I think it fits more into your agenda if that makes sense, and hopefully that means a better finish for your team. I'm hoping
Yes.
it's cutting chai first and then afterburners, but I'm not biased, obviously. Coming to the second owner in our little pre-game chat. Hello, DB. How are you? You look a bit. I mean, wow, you're really using the auto rotate to your benefit. You're showing us all the angles.
No, no, apologies for that.
Ooh, there's the
No, no,
afterburners
apologies
jersey.
for that.
If
But
anyone can catch it. Ooh,
Sorry,
yeah,
DB.
there you go. I
I don't know.
think
Is it
no, no,
clear?
I
I don't
like
know.
the new
No.
afterburner jersey.
hold on. I think
Yeah.
I just pulled. I just have one. Hold on.
If you
And
want
I also
one,
like
you
the
guys
fact that
can
it's
buy
moved
one at
away
the
from
stall.
CSK a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Oh, I haven't seen that. Nice.
Yeah, we just got the jerseys today, so here's a little sneak preview
Nice. I love
of
it.
everything.
Oh, it looks
And we have
good.
a new edition of the Athir family. Her jerseys here.
Yeah, 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 that's a corner. That's Premal's,
No,
Premal's jersey.
Kona. Sorry, I'm
Before,
mistaken. She
one
was in the
second.
Kona
Before
last
people
year.
say PSP is not allowed, she's not playing, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no nicknames. Only government names. Only what if you were caught by the police, the name you have to give only that name is allowed on the back of your jersey. But
Sorry
yeah,
about that, Debbie. Sorry,
afterburners
Macha.
as a jersey, yeah. Welcome, DB Bhai. Grumpy as
No, no, not
always.
at all.
You showed us all your angles. You have just woken up, as you should. What does a cat do but sleep? Um, tell us about how you're feeling this season. Still dedicated to the craft?
Feeling good, man. I think we've got a dedicated to the craft always, man. No, no,
Always.
we're feeling good. I think it's a good team that we've got. We've got good numbers, and I think we've got a good mix of handlers and cutters. And yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the team does. Um, I mean, I'm not going to bet against my team like I supposedly did last year. It's all untrue. I did no such thing, but
Uh,
just want to mull.
some people might have evidence that you could
But
be
no, no,
wrong,
no.
but
I'm looking
that's
forward.
different.
I'm looking forward to the games. I'm looking forward to the games. In terms of the other teams, I think, uh, I mean, everybody's got a good squad. I think everybody had the luxury of choosing from the 140 players that signed up. So I think everybody's managed to get a good squad. It's going to be a factor of who can perform on that day, I guess. And obviously, I think the icebreaker squad seems stacked AF. But let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think you guys had an interesting roster last year where You had some gun players. You had Sandy as your captain, which you had an interesting time with. Nirbha as your captain. You had Sunil, who you retained. You had Sam Mish, who's not coming back. But I think you had one of those teams
and
that if
and
you
Singvi who
guys
didn't turn up.
Singh didn't turn up, man, I I was upset with how Singhvi was treated. Not by you guys particularly, but how people responded to one dropped pull. It happens to all of us. Hey, he's a handler. He picks up. He
I
catches.
think Tuhin, I think Rishabh's looking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I let's just say I realized how close Tuhin and Singhvi were after how much Tuhin roasted Singhvi. I was
yeah,
like, oh yeah,
exactly,
they must
exactly.
they must really know each other because Tuhin is not letting this go. But hey, he's a handler. He catches at least seven pulls um, a game, and he's going to
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
the
no,
odd
no, it
pull.
was just an unfortunate drop. But
Yeah, it was unfortunate,
yeah.
but
I mean, I think
yeah.
Singhvi also, because he wasn't in Bombay, he probably didn't have, like, he was probably rusty the first weekend, but I think he really pulled
Mhm.
his socks up like for the final weekend, and he performed really well in the match that we had against cuttingchai.
Yeah, saying that we just have a
But
lovely Singvi
it is what it is.
floated for. But I think he's one of those. I mean, he's not playing this season, but he's one of those handlers, especially people from the Mumbai scene know that he's got really good throws and he's very trustworthy. So he
Yeah, very
was
dependable.
decent for Grumpies. I think you guys had one of those teams. You and Cutting Child, one of those teams that um, were talent wise probably in that 3-4 range, but in terms of performance on your day, you could easily be the first or the second best team. Is that fair to say? Would you say so? Last year, this is.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team, I mean, last season, perhaps I think because of depth, lack of depth in the squad, the afterburners and bomb squad suffered. But I think like any four, like all four other teams could. And I mean, even otherwise, I mean, I remember that uh, the bomb squad game against, I think it was the Buntais in the morning. They were really close. I mean, they were really close to taking it. And it was just a swing of momentum in the last couple of minutes. So I mean, I think any team could like really take on any other team on their day. It's just a question of, I guess, the mental strength on that day. And that's it. I think the teams are fairly sort of. I mean, everybody has their superstars and their dependable players, and I think I think it's just a question of who performs well on that day.
Yeah, I think what I think the way I would say it is that Bomb Squad as a team last year we had a lot of good, close games and a lot of games where in the second half especially which is down by 1 point and maybe it was our 0 point, but then we lost. And one could argue that we brought it really close, but one could argue that the fact that we lost is the difference between a good team and a not so good team. Um, and I think
I
that's what
mean,
MUL.
that's being harsh.
No, I was in that team, so I'm part of the problem. So I know what you're saying, but
I know,
what I'm trying
I
to
know,
say,
I know.
I think the league format really distinguishes that we all play each other twice, and some of the results are going to surprise
Yeah,
everyone. Um, and I think it's like on that day, how do you do? And also when we've all played Ultimate for a long time, that the momentum is a huge thing. Like if you give up your O point, I think it's almost like
absolutely.
if you turn it on offense, I think offense is the easiest thing in Ultimate. I think defense is extremely hard. So I think when you give up an O point, it really tests you as a team, as in how are you going to respond to that and how are you going to try to claw your way back. And I think the league format, because you play twice a
Yeah,
day,
absolutely.
uh, week by week people change. I think like example last year we saw Buntais, especially Buntais and Cutting Chai, week by week we saw the difference in their play style in terms of the gelling. They were gelling better. They had a little bit more. They had a little bit more chemistry. They had a little bit. They had decided on certain things to do, and I think like someone like Bomb Squad or Afterburners did not have that luxury just because numbers were tough. And I think Grumpy's also had a little bit of in and out. Like
Mm.
Mish was going in and out, Singhvi was in and out. The people from Ahmedabad were in and out. So you guys had those chances as well, and hopefully with the bigger roster sizes. And Grumpy it has the biggest, if not the second biggest roster this MUL. And I was there for the auction, and it was extremely funny. I just had my organizer's hat on, so I was not trying to think about, not trying to give DB any strategy. But this man decided that he's going to just bid for everyone and make sure he fills that roster. Can you just tell us about what went through your head? I mean, I'm sure every player of yours is as valuable as the next, if not more. But just tell us what went through your head during the auction. I am really curious.
Look, I mean, I was actually in touch with my teammates who had already selected Sunil and UT and all, and they were giving me feedback on who they thought, is a player worth bidding for, in that particular space, particularly in the second round, who was a steal at that value. So that's the thought that was going through my mind, and I mean, it's better to, in my opinion, it's better to get a player who I know or my players know and they trust, rather than hope that some of the players who are being assigned as developmental players will be the ones that you want. So I had the money. I went for it. Why not? And I mean, some of the people that
Someone,
I chose, I haven't, like Karthik, for example, he played for the Afterburners last year. He was fantastic. I mean, he was stellar throughout each game. So I mean, I think it was a steal. So it's not like I was just trying to hoard players. I had something in mind when I did select these players. And of course, I had
okay,
cash. So, which,
I'm gonna I'm gonna talk as a non-organizer again. Dude, you could have bought back with that money.
hmm.
But anyway, um, what I was trying to say
It's
is,
all. I think the way the auction process is structured, it is just about the luck about who turns up where, right? Like you may have
yeah,
spent like a lot of money on players initially, and then Matt turns up and you don't have the money to afford him. So like Sandy, for example, was
True,
somebody that
very
I
true.
wanted to buy back in the auction. But at the time he came, like it was so late in the day, and I just did not have the funds like to even bid beyond whatever he went for eventually. So because I also needed to like keep money for to make sure that I get the women players, sufficient number of women players, not get outbid on them. So it was just, I mean, it's just luck of the draw. So in the auction process, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any discussion on sort of structuring it in a different way next year. Uh, and that I'm speaking to you with, assuming that you're wearing your organizer hat at this stage, but
yeah, yeah.
maybe like
I am, I am, I
get the
am.
marquee players, the 1,000 rupee players off, and then 500, and then 250, and then 50. There are arguments both ways, but I mean at least it helps teams plan in a better way, right? Like if you don't get Mac, then maybe you can plan in a way that you can get other players that you think would complement that position. So anyway, it's luck of the draw at the end of the day, man. The options are just,
No, no,
you have,
I
like I
fully
had players
agree.
in mind that I went in for and I got outbid for initially, and so I mean it just it turns out as it does. And I'm very happy with the team that I've got. I think we got a lot of the players that we'd originally thought that we would get, and a lot of players that we hadn't sort of thought that we would get, but I think are great additions to the team. They bring in like strength in defense and speed and good cutting abilities and all, and I think it's fantastic. So
Um, See, the luck of the draw thing, you're talking to Rishabh, like, see, Rishabh didn't get picked for Bangalore
yeah, I mean,
Showcase
look
and
at how
Surat
much you went
Showcase,
for,
and it
right?
was purely because of the luck of the draw.
Oh,
There was no other
I mean,
reason.
even this one, right? Like
Would
I, I
why else
I
would
don't
a
think any
premier
player's
lefty
auction
handler
time
not
was
get
as
picked?
long as yours, huh?
Hey,
Yeah, I think
I
Rishabh,
think the
yours was like the
auctioneer,
largest auction. Even like Arya that went up for 2,500. Like I think that took less time than your 350 bid,
whoa,
just because
350
the way you
valuable.
turned up. I'm just like,
Have you, hey man, at the end of the tournament, people are going to talk about how much of a huge discount Rishabh went at, and you're going to kick yourself that the 17 players you got for 350, you could have got one Rishabh.
okay,
Okay, maybe you won't.
that's not
Maybe you
mathematically
won't.
happening.
DB, I think he's making grounds for injuring more of your players. Just letting you know.
अरे मुझे छोड़ दो यार.
Okay, I want to squash all these baseless rumors that I was involved in any Dhruv Nath related injuries. I think the tape sufficiently shows, and I would like Sportscast
It's on
at
camera.
some
It's on
point to
camera.
run this tape of how I not only did not injure him, but I gave a helping hand, asking my dear friend if he's okay after a
No, that you
completely.
I'm not saying you didn't offer a helping hand, but I mean, like, that's the least you
You're
can do
saying
after you
my
put somebody down.
you're saying my hands were not the problem. My legs tripping you apparently were the issues.
No, no. Anyway,
But
let's not discuss that on cam.
another,
We'll discuss it offline, Yashar.
yeah, I think a lot other choice words would be used to discuss this matter. But I think one of the coolest things about Grumpies is your guys is just the entire theme you guys have got going on with the grumpy cat, and like the question is like, are you grumpy? No, I'm just dedicated to the craft. I just want to quickly show the jersey, and this is the
Nice.
little addition that you guys have this season, which is incredible.
Nice.
um, and I don't know if you can catch it on this camera, but you can see all these little cats doing strange little things on the jersey. I gifted
Yeah,
this
yeah,
to
it's
like
on.
one of my best friends from back home. He has a couple of cats, and he absolutely adores your jersey. He thinks the only thing I've done
Oh,
with
lovely.
this tournament is create this jersey, and he loves it. So shout out to Grumpy's. Um, for some reason, you guys didn't have an Insta page, but
Yeah, so
that's a
I
you
Sam
problem, I guess.
wish. What we have
Go
an
ahead.
Insta page? What are you saying?
Now you do. Last season you didn't.
Yeah, last season I was caught up.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no. I shout out to Mish for the original jersey design. I think I was gonna go with a simple, solid, whatever. And he came up and said, "Hold on, let me handle this." He came up with this design, and that was fantastic. And shout out to Dhwani for the little addition this year. uh, she and I think Kriya for implementing it. I think we all thank Kriya in one way or the other for the jerseys. So, uh,
Yeah,
Kriya, I hope you're
I
enjoying
think
yourself in France.
the I think the duo of Riya Vaishnavi has really helped off season in a way that I don't think we fully understand yet.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. No,
coming
Vaishnavi
back to
also apparently
Grumpy's,
had a role to play in this, is what she told me. But thank you, Vaishnavi.
yeah. Um, Tell us about your squad. You're going to finish first, right? Obviously. Who else? Who else?
I mean, obviously, I mean, just don't get the betting pages open yet. But obviously we're going
No,
to
no,
finish
no.
first. No, no. I mean, see, like I said, I mean, it's that's definitely going to be our aim. We are definitely going to try for it. I think we have the strength to pull it off. I think I mean, like I said, it just depends on the day. If we are able to, uh, if Lady Luck is smiling down in our favor, we might be able to pull this off. Yeah.
Well, you got to show some lady luck some love too. If you're going to show that cat's face, it's not going to be, they're not going to be very impressed. But I was going to ask you something. I have forgotten. But anyway, best of luck to the Grumpies. I'll come back to that question when I have it in my head. The last person that we have on
Sure.
is the owner of the Buntais, the runner-up of season one of MUL. Tuin Bhai, how are you? You are in a bus now. You were in an auto earlier. You are traveling. You're
Yes.
going to Alibag.
Hi, Rishabh. Hi, Atir. Hi, DB. Yes, right now I'm sitting in a bus
What's up, Julian?
and I'm sitting at the stairs of the bus right outside Podar School. So, thanks
Oh,
to Cutting Chai,
Mm.
we are not at home right now and doing this call properly. Apparently, there was a practice which was supposed to happen at 5 in the evening, which got pushed to 8:30 after we left. Also, Ashu tells me.
Okay, that's really funny
Well
because
played. Mind games have begun.
I was just reading the cutting chai group chat, and I saw Ashu's Ashu's messages, and I didn't know you were with him. That's hilarious. If you guys want to kick
Yeah.
it, you can just come to my place. I'll send you the location. Uh,
Oh yeah. Is
but
this the one in Bangalore, the party place? Our party hub?
no, my parents are watching. Please don't say anything.
Ah.
Um, but no. So you're in Podar school. Honestly, I was in after a while. I've been to Podar before, but we played minis the other day. Toin bhai, you were there. Atir bhai was also there. Um, Eve of Ani's birthday. So shout out to Ani. But Podar school, incredible facility. I think it's really impressive, especially it's right in the heart of Bombay, and it has a full size field. It's incredible, and I don't think it's too expensive, right? If you have enough numbers.
Yes,
Correct. It's
it's
not
not too
too
expensive.
expensive. And the good part is that where the places I've grown up in, a lot of schools, especially the north side of India, they don't allow public and commoners to come and use the facilities. So
Mhm.
thankfully, Poda doesn't have that scene over here, and we were able to use the facilities and play. We are rather not were.
So that's a huge thing I've noticed in Bombay, especially in the Bandra area. I mean, I've mainly been around this area, especially playing is like schools like Stanislas, Podar, I think Andrews. They all
Yeah,
have
Andrews, yeah.
space, and they have just opened up. They have just converted their fields to astroturf fields, and they're renting it out. And I think it just works out for everyone. I think it works out for the school. They make some more. They make some money. I hope they're not. I hope they're not denying the kids. If I was a student from that school and I'm like grumpies or cutting chais coming to practice at during our football time, I would be livid. So I hope that's not happening. But I think it opens up like spaces for our community and communities like ours to just rent them out, and it's so accessible because this is a location
Yes.
that everyone can come to decently easily. Although our Navi Mumbai kids are going to have a hard time regardless of where the practice is.
they come to Juhu, so I don't think that's much of a problem. That's even further away.
Yeah, exactly. And
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 they just
I
cycle
I
there.
saw that
There's
they
a,
I saw they went to IIT Bombay this morning, so yeah, they
Yeah,
definitely are willing to travel. Um,
yeah.
but
The
but yeah,
exuberance of
Bunta
youth,
is
as I call it.
the exuberance of youth. Yeah, I wish I had a little bit of that. Um, I I think
You're
I
tall,
think
not old.
DB and I think DB and I would turn 30 when we were 16, right?
I don't think
I
DB was ever
why are you
16.
dragging me in this, man? Hey, man.
DB is the AK Hangal of Mumbai Ultimate. No one has seen his Javani.
okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm going
That
to
that
defend
that is
that.
actually true. I
DB
mean,
is young,
in the
dude.
ultimate circle,
DB
that
can party how much ever. No one else can party. DB is the man.
Oh no, no. DB is
And he also
DB is
helps
like
organize beautiful parties.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's part of the
definitely.
hey,
he's
that was
part of
you. That was all
the
you.
infamous Catholic uncles, and often the first uncle to raise his hand when mass is called. But but the Buntais, you guys had a great season last season. I think Tohin, you were one of those owners who bought into the off-season uh, who bought into the off-season idea from the get-go. I think when the responses that we saw from you, you were in it for the long haul, if that makes sense. As in, you used you used footage that we created to create like to come up with ideas on how to strategize better. You use that to tweak your own plans. You hosted most of your team. I think Atir also did. Also, another thing, big shout out to the Mumbai Ultimate community in general for housing people from outside who are coming in. I think that was a huge part of our success. And example like Tuhin Bhai's house was one of them. I remember coming to Tuhin Bhai's house after the finals last season, after the final day, and there were like 15 of them, and that was every weekend, and it was really remarkable to see that. So I think you really bought into what it was to be a team owner and to be part of a team. So was coming to season two a no-brainer. I forgot to mention that technically DB never confirmed that he's going to be an owner, but out of the goodness of his heart, he did not deny us the chance of having him in as one of our owners in our league. uh, but yeah, what was your thinking behind
Yeah,
this
this is
season?
consent by action.
First
But
and foremost, why are we watching highlights of the finals? The one game we lost. One of the two games we lost.
I thought of the same thing, bro.
The mind games to win, the mind games.
They were
Hey,
they
That's
were
the organizer hack. He keeps saying, I'm removing it. Bullshit, macha. This is full on cutting chai mind games going on.
no, 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 not cutting time mind games. I'll tell you one more level. One more level is behind all this production is Tahir. He's sitting in bombaibu taking
Icebreakers.
two pitch highlights.
Oh,
And if you noticed, the second highlight was Tahir putting an assist into the end zone. So,
yeah.
hey, don't blame me.
Why was
But
No,
I
no, yeah.
think
So
Buntais were MUL's de facto favorite team because you guys were the ones who had a shot at beating the icebreakers. Um, but
we beat them
yeah, tell
twice.
us about beat them thrice. Yeah, what was your thinking behind coming back, and yeah, how did you go about it?
So for me, off season has been a platform to grow. When I started Ultimate, there are multiple stories of people growing with the sport, it making quite an impact at the grassroots level. So there was this lady called Pujita, and she introduced me to Ultimate along with V. V now
Shout out to
coaches
Hyderabad.
GK Mad, of course, shout out to Hyderabad. And so she used to take us for uh, goosebumps practice, and anything, anyone in the team, irrespective of who it is, needed, she would always help out, and she would uh, pay it forward when we asked her why she does X Y Z thing. So that is something that is inculcated in mind when it comes to Ultimate. So it is probably my way, or at least I think of it as a way that I'm trying to pay it forward, making it more accessible to people, getting it more organized. Or so I hope, and that was the whole plan. This time the auction was mostly done by Karan from my team. So the whole mind behind it, the whole effort behind it was all Karan. And wherever obviously he needed help, I stepped in because ultimately
भाई
it should not happen. Sorry, go on.
मस्त scapegoat बना रहे हो करण को.
नहीं नहीं scapegoat नहीं. On paper we have we have players who can probably win the league. So बाकी तो let's see how it goes. But yeah, coming
मतलब
back.
Karan could have done a better job, कह रहे हो.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we missed any player who except Mac. Baki to we are very happy with the squad, and we have enough number of players to beat any team in the tournament.
I think your auction strategy uh, was interesting because you guys actually didn't bid for a long time in the start. Like you guys were quite quiet in the start. It seemed like you knew what you were doing, and I think what was interesting is also you used knowledge, or you used records of earlier showcase tournaments and earlier leagues. Like you kept Karan because Karan was an unknown when MUL first started, and you picked him and he had a really good MUL. He was often on the receiving end of many of Mac's hammers, a huge strategy that you guys employed. Then you had Surat Showcase where you saw someone like Ansh perform, and like, okay, because you were actually at Surat Showcase, even though you weren't an owner, you were at Surat Showcase. And you saw Ansh was really good, and he was kind of like the find of Surat Showcase, at least for people who didn't know who he was. And then in Bangalore Showcase, you saw someone like Harsh, who played for your Uncharted team, the team that you owned, and you decided that hey, that's someone that people from Mumbai probably don't know him, but he came up much later, right? all these two guys came up later, and you decided to pick him up. So I think you really used knowledge from previous tournaments before. Would you say that's accurate?
I think everyone does that. Like that is the pure basic of an auction, and I think all the owners did that. They used the knowledge they had, the information they had. I doubt there was any major information asymmetry right now. So yes, I think Ansh was a superstar even before Surat Showcase. So yeah, that was okay. Fine, I'll give credit to Surat Showcase for bringing it forward. But yes, Ansh was not fine, but one of the standout performers. Yes,
भाई हमें थोड़ा तो credit दे दो.
Ansh का ले लो यार.
We have we have promoted so many players through off season.
Definitely.
I
No, I'm
think
kidding.
Tuvin realized it while he was speaking, and I think that's what he did.
He's like, these three have done nothing. We knew who these players were.
No.
And also another snide comment he made is that everyone used previous tournaments record. I don't know if everyone did, so I don't know if it was the most
MCL
obvious
had the
thing to do.
opportunity to use. How they went about it is, I don't know.
It's on
I
them.
can't give a solid answer on that, but a concrete answer on that. But yes, everyone had the opportunity. Thanks to off-season ultimate, everyone had the wherewithal to use the tournaments gone by to make their team.
We're going to use this as a soundbite.
Wait, so do
Tuvin
you
Sharma
guys
says,
make the
thanks to off-season
do you guys
ultimate.
make the in, do you guys make the information like available for the other tournaments as well, like who performed how well and etc. Or is it just if you have been there and you've watched it all times?
It's called YouTube.
Um,
DB,
yeah.
you click on off-season
I
ultimate,
don't
see
know,
the
समझ
game.
गया मतलब YouTube पे देख लो, but
Ooh.
yeah,
No,
but
we don't have a
Buntais
full
versus
on.
Gumpy में बहुत मजा आएगा भाई.
To be fair, मेरे को last time भी बहुत आया था. It started off with Singvi's full drop, sorry.
Oh
That was
yes,
one of my
the
favorite games.
infamous
we
Singh with
got
pull
that
draw.
up.
Tuvin, I was telling these guys earlier that I realized how close you and Singhvi were after how much you went into the poor man about that drop. I
So
have
Singvi
I
is
have
actually
never.
staying at my place right now, and he's with
Oh.
Ashu and
Nice.
all at Oda school. I'm sitting in the bus. They are about 5 meters away, waiting to throw a shoe at me.
I hope he finds an extra spiky one for you. But I think the Bunta is like I know every owner is definitely using all the information given to them or however they want to use it, but I think you have especially focused on doing that, and I saw that as Uncharted as well when you were at Snakey. Big shout out to Nishan Snakey, one of the focal points of one of the core members who made Bangalore Showcase happen. Literally, it was like the three of us and him. He did so much for us, and he also was part of a very successful team, the Uncharted. So I think you were one of those people who used information to your benefit, which is incredible. But now let's get to your jersey. You have picked, first of all, Buntas had an incredible jersey last year as well. I think top two jerseys, yeah, Chef's Kiss as DB is going. And this year, I think you might have outdone yourself with the Pride Month themed colorful jersey with still holding the Mumbai, I would say, old time skyline, more Sobo skyline um, than the lower Parel skyline, perhaps. Um, and another incredible jersey. Can you just quickly walk us through about why this is important to you? Look at that logo. Look at how beautiful the Buntais logo looks. Can you tell us why you
So
decided to do so and why it's important?
before I dig into that question, say hi to Vaishnavi. She is the one who
Oh,
designed
there
the
she
jersey.
is. Hi,
I think she designed
Vaishnavi.
half the jerseys for off-season ultimate this season.
She did. She did. That's what we were talking about earlier. Is that the duo of
Yeah.
Ria and Vaishnavi have contributed to us in ways that we don't fully realize yet. But yeah, thank you, Vaishnavi. Big shout out.
So yeah, coming back to the jersey. So June is Pride Month across, and it is important that in 2022 everyone should be able to speak and know more about what it is, how every person is equal, irrespective of their um, orientation or uh, preferences, if I may call them. So that was the whole idea, to support LGBTQIA plus in this, and that's why the plethora of colors. Thankfully, Vaishnavi was able to incorporate it in the jersey in a nice manner, so that helped.
No, I think this is something that, so I wouldn't go as far as saying it's brave, because I think the brave people are from that community trying to live their lives, especially in our country. But I think it's a terrific step forward, because it's something that, especially in a sport like Ultimate, where it is so, not off-brand is not right the word, but it's such a small community. It's such a community
Niche.
involved in so many diverse Yeah, it's a niche community. That's the word. Diverse community as well, in terms of people have incredible range of jobs um, in the ultimate community. Like, people who could be anything. Like, you could be a corporate lawyer, or you could be a graphic designer, and that's not the range. I mean, there's a bigger range, but that's what I'm trying to say. But
Yeah.
another huge thing about our community, which we want to be, is inclusive. We are a community that, we're such a small community. Like, we constantly want more and more people playing ultimate, which is what I think the whole issue was, the roster sizes as well. Is like, we can't, as off season, we don't want to deny anyone the opportunity to play, because we don't have enough players of ultimate in India. So we just need, anyone and everyone who wants to play should, and showcases, that's why different from the league. But I don't think as a community we're still very good with inclusivity in terms of with female players. And then the next step would be with the LGBTQ community. So I think what you guys have done with Buntas is a small step in the right direction.
Yes, so I think there is, I'm not sure of the name, but there's something called the People's Ultimate as well, where they tried to, I think it happened in Bangalore, if I'm not wrong. They tried to
Okay.
promote and coach uh, transgender people. I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I just heard about it. So that is where I got the idea. I was talking to a friend, and not only ultimate, it should happen everywhere, like all sports. It's not something that is uh, something that we are giving or doing as something for them. It is their right, and they should be having this. It's like it should be a no-brainer. It's like
Yeah,
me
exactly.
playing ultimate, or me playing cricket, or me playing football. Every person should have that access, irrespective of their choices or preferences or orientation or otherwise.
And what all we
Yeah, I
can do
think
as
UPI
ultimate is
has an
that,
initiative on that, right?
Yes,
I think that's what Tuvin is referring to.
correct. I think it's called People's Ultimate, but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think as off season, we're still quite young, so we haven't had these conversations yet. But what the Buntais have done kind of pushes us in the right direction, as it kind of reminds us that these are issues that are off the field that we can deal with as well. So thank you for that, um, and thank you for pushing that conversation. And also, it's such a pretty jersey. Like, I'll just show it one more time. I think in general, this
So
season
nice to
has
get a
just
CH
shown.
price.
Yeah, exactly. um, I think this season in general, just the jerseys have been stellar. I think compared to last season, especially. Last season also they're really good, but I think just it kind of helps our whole, what we are trying to do is that each and every one of you is taking it a bit more seriously than you did last time, and that just gives us more validation, and it gives us a little more push to try to do the best as well, which is what this pre-game show is. So we've had a conversation about all the teams. Let's do
Conversation about
what
all the
we
teams.
come here for. Let's talk about the schedule, the first day schedule. So can we have the first day up on our screen, and we'll just talk to the owners. There we go. So icebreakers, bomb squad. Unfortunately, we couldn't catch both the owners this time. We'll maybe catch them next week. But Bombay Buntais, afterburners, Go for it. What do you guys have to say to each other? I heard Tuhin's haircut isn't as nice as he thinks he is. I heard Akhir Bhai is actually a better driver on the road than he's a pilot. So anything you guys want to say?
I think we played
I know you're trying
afterburners
your
first
best,
and last
but
season as well, right?
yes, I was about to say that we played first last season also, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So,
It's gonna be fun. I just want to wish all the best to Buntais, and like you pointed out, I love the jersey. It's fantastic, right way forward. So all the best. We'll see you on the field. That's all I'll say.
yeah.
But what do you have to say
Yes,
about
I
his
did.
hair? Sorry, go ahead.
It is this season. That's one major difference.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey
Tuhin
man,
Bhai looks.
Rishabh, we're just talking
Wait,
about like letting people like do whatever they want, like like their preferences and all. So just let it be, man. He wants his hair like that. He wants
hey,
his hair like that. He likes
hey
it.
man,
That's all that matters.
some things have a limit and they need a limit.
I wouldn't take this shit though, and I wouldn't take this.
I'll see him on the field, DB. I'll probably leave him on crutches like he did to you
I
last
told
season.
you so. Yeah.
Ooh,
Rishabh
I knew that
clean
was coming.
constantly.
I knew that was coming.
Uh,
I'll
that's
do
fine. Being
I'll do
six
that for you,
big
DB. I'll
six
do that
three
for you.
anyway, being 6'3", I run on stilts, so you can maybe just cut off my stilts and I'll be another 4'6" normal person.
How many 4 feet 6
And
normal people have you met?
I'm from South India, so our average height isn't very high. we're all we're all
Wow.
very cuddly, pocket-sized dudes.
I'm pretty sure there's an R word over there, but we are going to swiftly move past it.
Yeah, it's it's Rishabh being ridiculous is all it is. But
Nice
you
turn,
you
nice
didn't
turn,
catch
Macha.
you didn't catch DB doing the reverse trash talk to him. I don't think you caught that because the next game that you guys are playing are Grumpies versus Buntais. He's trying to sweet talk to you so that he can turn that frown upside down, as they say, and get the first win for the Buntais, for the Grumpies. Am I right?
I mean, you're also first one for the Buntais implies that they're going to lose to afterburners, and then we are going to lose to them. Well done, Rishabh. But no, yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm buttering up to him. I'm always buttering up to him. We lawyers gotta hang together, man. We're not gonna let like Rishabh separate us. Like, seriously.
You let Rishabh enjoy you, nothing else. Right.
Wait, so I get to do it again? When is Cutting Chai playing Grumpies?
Right after, right? Right after.
Uh, yeah, can we have the schedule again, please? Ooh, Cutting Chai
Oh
is
wow,
playing the
first day.
Grumpies.
Yeah,
Wow.
day one.
I told you
Cutting
it's right
Chai
after.
and Cutting Chai and Grumpies have been absolutely smothered by the organizers with back-to-back games, especially on the day
All
of the
three,
IPL
all
final.
4 weekends.
So
Sorry,
that's
Cutting Chai is
terrible
not playing
planning.
back to back. None of the
No, we're
organizers
playing.
are playing back to back on the first weekend, by the way.
No, we're playing. I'm playing second and third game, dude.
No, you just go back. Six. Okay,
See,
you are.
Cutting Chai.
Yeah, you are.
See,
I saw
this you need to
Buntai
be
versus
on my
Grumpy in the
side,
middle.
Tuhin. Tuhin, I'm trying to be on your side. You need to be on my side as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm suffering with you. You know what's going to happen? Icebreakers are McIntyre play for the same team. Icebreakers. This is the third time it's happening. So Surat Showcase, Bangalore Showcase, and now MUL. Those two are the same team. So when both of them are playing, all hell breaks loose because everyone just looks for me to get something done. And I'm like, dude, I'm one person. And these guys always plan in such a way. Thankfully, the three of us aren't playing at the same time because that happened once in MUL. And thankfully, the place didn't set on fire because who knows what was going to happen. Uh, but I heard Cutting Chai
Yeah.
is better than the Grumpies. I heard the Grumpies are no good and are simply useless. But that's only hearsay. And who are we playing as well? I think we're playing icebreakers. Yeah, no one likes icebreakers anyway, uh, so they're irrelevant. Well,
Just,
the
just to
thing is,
just a
Rishabh
random,
came prepared for this meeting, bro. I think he's got like
just
a
to
cheat
bring up
sheet
a
there with all the things he want to say.
Adil,
just
I'll tell you the funniest thing is actually I have prepared nothing. This is all just off the cuff, but don't tell
Rishabh, Rishabh, a random fact. Every time Tahir and Maki have played together at in off season, they've ended fourth.
Well,
Bangalore
let's
Showcase,
hope
I
for
think they
another
were
fourth place
icebreakers
finish.
was fourth. Dish Devils were fourth
Interesting.
in a four-member tournament. So maybe
That's. I
either
just
law of
want to say
averages will
this
catch up
Devils.
or we'll see history repeat.
Wait. Was the fun fact? Was the fun fact that they finished fourth both times, or the fun fact is that they finished fourth in a four-team tournament?
We'll leave that to the viewers. They are
We'll
good at
leave that to the
interpretation.
viewers. But I just want to say, icebreakers, you're probably going to beat cuttingchai, you're probably going to win MUL, but you're never going to win our hearts.
That is the
Bro.
most trash
Wow.
talk since Inzamam ul Haq, dude. Come on.
As Inzamam said, I'll say it in a more future way. Like, inshallah, the boys will play well, hopefully,
And the girls.
and the women. Yes, everyone who's playing for us or playing in this tournament rather. But can we have the schedule again before so that I can come up with some more ideas on how to talk absolute smack? Afterburners are playing Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad, you made a mistake by not retaining me. Afterburners are absolutely going to smoke you. Bomb Squad is playing Icebreakers. All I can hope is Bomb Squad play like last season and they just tire Icebreakers out so that when I play them as Cutting Chai, they're a bit less tired. By the way, Tuhin, all organizers have back to backs, dude. All
Icebreakers,
organizers,
yes, all organizers are
uh,
back to backs.
all organizers
Yeah.
have back to backs. So we're all in this
I
No,
together.
I
think
think you were saying, Rishabh, that we have back-to-back matches on all weekends, right?
Well,
sorry,
that's
I lost in the middle.
do you?
I think I think what Rishabh was saying was that Cutting Chai and the Grumpies have back-to-back matches on all weekends.
Do we
I
actually?
think
Do I
Grumpy
need to
do.
like,
Really?
I mean, that's
Every weekend? Oh, wow.
dude?
Clearly
I
you
was
picked
trying
up the
to.
shortest straw.
I would be. I wish he picked the shortest straw. Poor man didn't even have a choice.
yeah.
No, but dude, we're suffering together. I
अरे
was
हाथ
trying to
रुक गया
get back
यार अब
into fitness.
फोन पकड़ते पकड़ते
I was gonna say, okay, we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for coming. Please let us know if you want to come back for a pregame show. This is how it's going to go. It's just going to be me being silly for 45 minutes and you guys being silly with me. So you're always welcome. Uh, if you want to, we'll discuss about
Hey
how
Rishabh,
crazy
sorry,
we can get.
one quick question that
Yeah, go ahead.
one quick question that I got from my team was, when's the party happening?
Um, Actually, off-season Ultimate and Rishabh Kishore do not partake and will not partake in any parties. We, as an establishment and association, have decided
अरे no
against such
Okay,
illicit
we'll, we'll,
virtues.
we'll go offline and then we'll talk about it then, I guess.
Like I said,
You know,
I think we can
offline
have
we will not
discussions.
partake.
If
I
if
think.
there's one thing that Rishabh had prepared, it was this line.
Written by Tahir.
Uh, like I told Athir bhai, none of this is planned or that line either. But all I know is now that I've said this line and every owner catches it, Nikhil Pandey will ask me 2 days later the same question. So I'll tell you guys a quick little snippet, and I'll probably bring it up when he comes on too. So there was this whole thing that we put out the jersey orders on the owners group, right? That you guys had to give the owners group, and the thing was like, you guys could not make singlets because we need our the people who are helping us. We need the sponsors on our jersey. So singlets were not allowed. Then 3 days later, I'm on the cutting chai team group, and then suddenly I see Sahu, Sahil, Ganna all saying they want singlets on the order where everyone's putting in their order and their jersey number. I'm like, dude, Pandey, we've been over this. You're not allowed to have singlets. And then he put out an awkward message on the team group saying, "Hey, the organizers have not allowed us." It's like, dude, you knew this. Why did you give them an option that they never had? But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Sorry for running late and also starting a bit later than we should have. But hope you have a good rest of your evening and can't wait to see you guys in less than 24 hours.
It's gonna be fun.
You guys.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
All right.
See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So
All
guys,
right,
thanks.
guys.
Big shout out to the MUL organizers. They're doing a fantastic job. So that's the only thing I want to end with. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank
See
you,
you guys
Thanks,
everybody.
Sportscast.
Thanks, Sportscast.
Yes.
Thanks, Effects. Thanks, Agile.
Adi.
Adi is going to be here tomorrow, so look out for him tomorrow. If you have any
Message.
problems with how your highlights are looking, talk to the man directly. Don't go through me. Don't go through Zion.
Yeah.
No one. Talk to him. All right,
All
guys.
right.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye, guys.
Take care. See you guys.
We'll end it right
See you
here.
guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, and few games of the season. So thank you again. Signing off. This is Rishabh Kishore. Thank you.